welcome back to Only Phantoms. My name's Tom.
My name's Sammy.
We, if you don't know us by now, we upload everything on a Friday, which goes to YouTube, goes to all the main podcasts.
All the RSS feed, Spotify.
Yeah, all them boys.
All them boys.
All them boys, yeah, and we upload every week. So, your weekend's filled with us, you lucky devils.
You lucky little devils.
So we're currently doing a mini-series of all the ghosts and paranormal stuff and haunted places in...
Well, United Kingdom, Ireland.
Yeah.
Close to us, basically.
Yeah. But we started off with Wales last week, which was wicked because we love going there. And now we have Ireland, which is full of some spooky ass shit.
Old Celtic land.
Yeah, this is stupidly old.
Getting straight into it today, aren't we?
Getting straight into it today.
No blabbering on.
No.
Oh, hello to our new subscribers. We're on currently 99 when we're filming this. So one more and then we're at 100. So if you're not already subscribed, please go to our YouTube and subscribe to our channel. I would really appreciate it. I'm sure Tom will too.
Yep.
And to get us to 100.
And also join our TikTok because we put all our
Yes.
mini clips up like early, like little sneak peeks of what we've been doing and what we've been filming and stuff.
Yes. Yeah, so go and follow us on YouTube and you get on TikTok.
Yeah.
Get little sneak peeks.
I was going to say like, 99, like the 99 flake, but that doesn't actually exist anymore. It's like, how much is that now?
Probably like 250.
It probably is, yeah. 250 flake don't have the same ring to it, does it?
It's still called the 99 though.
Yeah, just false advertising.
False advertising. And again, apologies, I'm still suffering with a cough/cold thing, so I might sound a bit
Dolphiny.
dolphin.
You do like.
And so Tom's gonna take us away this week. And yeah, go for it, mate.
So these are some of like the spirits that are found in Ireland. It's like a board in like a national trust place to see what kind of animals are around you. So obviously the first one, you got the banshee. This female spirit known as Beansy, which I don't. We're gonna make a lot of grammatical errors here.
Yeah.
Same as the Welsh one, I'm sure you all know.
Mm-hmm.
Is a wailing figure who heralds a death within a family, often by kneeling or screaming. So you hear like a screaming creature in the middle of the night, you're probably about to lose a family member.
Yeah, it's like a horrifying scream as well, isn't it? Like proper piercing.
Oh yeah.
Like you couldn't mistake it for an animal.
No. So this one is, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced the Puka. A creature of Celtic folklore. The Puka is a spirit or ghost, sometimes depicted as a goblin, who is believed to bring both good and bad fortune, capable of helping or hindering communities. So, like today I want to be a dick or nice.
Yeah, whatever day of the week it is or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'll be nice today. Why not?
That's like you. I'm gonna start calling you Puka.
Okay, that's quite cute though. A little puka.
Next, the White Lady, a female ghost dressed in white, often associated with local legends of tragedy. The White Lady is said to appear in rural areas and is linked to the spirits of the dead or malevolent deities. So, I think every single hotel, castle, haunted house has a White Lady or a Lady in White.
Or grey lady.
Or Grey Lady. They're like, I don't know, they're just everywhere.
They are.
But I've not heard of any women in black though, apart from the film.
No, that's true.
I didn't see it now though in real life. Right. The Dullahan. Dullahan is basically the Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
This is an ancient Irish tale. A headless horseman said to be the messenger of death, who rides a horse and carries his head in a bag. So basically, if you're in Ireland, if you see a spirit, someone's going to die.
Or is that what all these mean pretty much?
Like, pretty much every single one I read out, there's like, this one's the bringer of death.
Die.
So haunted houses, obviously. Ireland has numerous locations rumoured to be haunted, including Malahide Castle, said to be haunted by multiple spectres, and Crag Chase, possibly, where visitors have reported supernatural occurrences. The Coonean Ghost. The Coonean Ghost is a well-recorded and authenticated ghost story by Irish history, with BBC Radio foil Susan McReynolds visiting the mountain cottage with local historian Ken McCormick in 2002. Irish Gothic literature. Bram Stoker's Dracula is considered a masterpiece of Irish Gothic literature, with its spooky stories, crumbling houses and occult themes embodying the political anxieties of Anglo-Irish society. Is it though?
I don't know. It was. I haven't read it, so...
No, I've never... That's bad, isn't it? Never read Dracula.
I got the book, I tried reading it, but then I got to be in a certain mood to actually start reading stuff, so...
You need like a... When you've got like a full weekend off of nothing happening and it's like raining outside.
Oh, yeah, cozy.
Samhain, the original Halloween, involved bonfires and people wearing costumes and masks to ward off dark forces. Which is now like the opposite. So people want to bring it.
Yeah, that's true. But also, I didn't realise there's so many claims to Halloween's like origin. So and now I'm like, where did it come from?
I imagine it was Ireland, because obviously all the Irish immigrants went into America, they brought it over there with them.
Yeah, I think in America it's more celebrated as a holiday, whereas like it would have been a tradition over here, like end of a harvest, some sort of thing, I think.
We think of St. Patrick's Day as well. It's massive in like Boston.
Yeah, true.
But they call it St. Patty's Day.
St. Paddy.
Yeah, that's angers the people, that does.
So to start us off, I'm going to talk about the Hellfire Club. So the Irish Hellfire Club was founded in 1735 by Richard Parsons, a man known for dabbling in black magic. Originally at the top of Montpellier Hill, I don't know if it's Pellier or Pellier, so we're just going to go with it. There was an ancient passage grave with a cairn of stones stacked on top. It is said that the cairn was destroyed when the meeting lodge was being built, and that they used one of the grave's standing stones as the lintel for its fireplace. Sometime later, the roof of the secluded lodge was blown off during a storm. The locals reckoned that aggrieved spirits seeking vengeance for the cairn's destruction were responsible. When the owner of the lodge died, it was sold, and it is said to have become a meeting place for the Irish Hellfire Club. The secrecy surrounding the Hellfire Club led to speculation that its members were Satanists and devil worshippers. The president was named the King of Hell and dressed like Satan with horns, wings and hooves. The members were also said to set a place at each meeting for the devil in hope that he'd attend. The members were also said to hold black masses in the lodge during which cats and even servants were sacrificed. Some say the lodge was deliberately set on fire in order to enhance the building's hellish atmosphere. The best known Hellfire Club story is the one in which the devil himself appears. According to legend, a stranger joined the club members at a game of cards. Then, one of the players dropped a card on the floor and he bent down to retrieve it and saw that the stranger had cloven hooves instead of feet. Another popular tale concerns a young farmer who was curious to find out what went on at the club's secretive meetings. Climbing up Montpellier Hill, he was invited in by the members and allowed to witness the night's activities. The young man was found the next morning, trembling and terrified. Tradition says he spent the rest of his life unable to speak, unable to even remember his name.
Jesus. That's... wasn't one of the, I believe one of the presidents went down to the Hellfire Caves of the United States.
Oh really? What, in Ireland?
Yeah.
So did the Hellfire Club come from Ireland, or was it...
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Is it lots of... I know it's like loads of different locations in Ireland, but I don't know whether it's like worldwide.
I think that's the main one. That's like the start of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so you can go down in them still, I think.
That's cool. Yeah, because at the moment it's just a random derelict building at the top of a hill, isn't it?
Yeah, because I know most Haunted have gone there, and Ghost Adventures as well.
Ah.
And maybe the other, what was it, Taps, is it?
Yeah.
I could be talking
Ghost
shit.
Hunters.
Yeah.
They probably are. Ghost Hunters International.
I'd love to go down there.
Yeah. Imagine the shit you see.
Mm.
Imagine if you excavated the site. Or what they've like buried there.
Yeah, and just discovered it all of a sudden. So next on the list is Leap Castle. There are varied accounts as to when exactly the main tower / keep was constructed, ranging anywhere from the 13th century to the late 15th century, but most likely around 1250 AD. It was built by the O'Bannon clan and was originally called Laimui. I'm not going to try and pronounce.
Oh god, no.
I can't do that any justice.
No, because that's like a very Irish word, like a group of words where like
yeah,
all letters mean different sounds.
Whichever way I think it's going, it's going to be the wrong way.
Yum.
You say yum?
And then I said yeah,
Oh, right. Yum.
Yum.
So yeah, it's Leap Castle, or Leap of the O'Bannons. The O'Bannons were the secondary chieftains of the territory and were subject to the ruling O'Carroll clan. There is evidence that it is constructed on the same site as another ancient stone structure, perhaps ceremonial in nature, and that the area has been occupied consistently since at least the Iron Age, so 1500 before Christ.
Fucking hell.
And possibly since the Neolithic times. It's crazy that you don't realise how much stuff is built, lived on for hundreds of years, and then taken apart, and then someone else builds on it, and that place is now hundreds of years old.
Mind blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I'd love to be an archaeologist when you go out excavating sites and stuff.
Again, I know we talk about it all the time, but I'd love to dig around the Ramen.
Yeah.
All around there is going to be shit.
Yeah. Or Glastonbury Abbey.
Yeah, find King Arthur.
Is he? Oh yeah, he's allegedly buried there. Isn't he?
Yeah. I reckon he is.
I reckon he is too.
So, I want to talk about some of the entities that are inside Leap Castle. One is called It. Numerous people Numerous people were imprisoned and executed in the castle, and it's said that it is one of the reasons why the castle is haunted. I would imagine so.
No way.
One of the most terrifying beings which resides in the castle has been called It. It is a small creature about the size of a sheep with a decaying face. It is believed that when it appears, it is accompanied by a smell of sulphur, which is demonic.
Yeah.
And the smell of decaying corpse, which is also demonic. So when you smell
rotten
flesh, you know something bad's around.
Yep. Yuck.
But that's the thing about that Leap Castle. It's not ghosts, it's other shit that's there.
Yeah.
So when you think you're going in to just do a paranormal investigation, you're not.
It's demonic shit as
different forces trying to kill you there.
Yeah.
There's also the Elemental. Elementals are believed to occur mainly in the countryside, where they have attached themselves to a particular place. When the castle's ownership was transferred to the Darbys, Mildred Darby dabbled in the occult, as it was fashioned during the day. It's just something to do back in the day.
Something to pass the time.
Yeah. It is widely believed that Mildred's dabbling in the occult resulted in the awakening of the Elemental. Mildred Darby even wrote about her frightening ordeal back in 1909. She was standing in the gallery when she felt somebody put a hand on her shoulder. When she looked, she saw a thing about the size of a sheep, with a gaunt, inhumane face. It has black cavities for the eyes. It has the smell of a decomposing corpse. The Darbys remained in the castle until 1922, which is weird because the Elemental sounds exactly like it.
Yeah.
Size of a sheep. That's really specific. That's such a
What kind of sheep?
Yeah, what kind of sheep?
Some breeds are massive.
Yes.
And does that mean it crawls then? If it...
Yeah, is it on all fours? Because you'd be like, oh, it's the size of a monkey.
Yeah.
But I don't know, perhaps you haven't seen a monkey.
Perhaps you haven't. Is it just really wide and fat and short?
It's really cuddly, but just don't look at it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Or the place where the eyes are meant to be. Priest's house. Shadows are also seen wandering the priest's house. The priest's house has been an empty shell since the burning in 1922, which is when the Darbys left. A burly man has been seen pushing a heavy barrel up the stairs, and when he gets to the top, the barrel rolls down and the man and the barrel disappear. Wow, how
annoying is that, trying to sleep at night? Just...
Also, imagine being that ghost if it's
oh.
every day. Oh, yay. Oh, no.
Maybe that's his torment. Maybe he's a bad person in real life and that's his...
Just got a barrel up some stairs, oh my god.
Yeah.
Murder hole room. There's also the murder hole room called the Muckle hole room. There's a blood stain on the floor of the room, and it is said to be that of the man who was stabbed to death by his brother. The brother was quarrelled for ownership of the castle, so they stabbed him. So that's what I would as well. Actually, if I had the rights to a castle, I'd just get rid of my brother.
I was trying to think what that reminded me of then, but it's of a film that I watched on Netflix.
Is it called The Brothers?
No, but two brothers fight. They're magical.
Oh, okay, it might be them. Based loosely off.
Two brothers. There's a car.
And a Mexican Armada. This is one I've never heard before. The Red Lady.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
No. I was going to say, you were excited about that.
No, it's just because it just went into my brain then, have I? No. I haven't. I have not. No way.
The Red Lady has been encountered by many people. The story goes that the Red Lady is the ghost of a woman captured and raped by the O'Carrolls. She got pregnant as a result of the rape. The O'Carrolls killed the baby, and in despair, she killed herself.
Oh.
The Red Lady has been seen carrying a dagger in her hands and raising it menacingly as if she wanted to stab someone.
Well, I would too if
Of
someone
course she-
killed my baby.
Yeah, Jesus. Young girl ghosts. 2 young girls have been seen and heard playing in Leap Castle. Castle visitors often see them playing in the hall and running up and down the stairs. They are called Emily and Charlotte. Emily died at the age of 11 when she fell from the battlements. Don't believe it.
Pushed.
Yeah. Many people have seen her ghost falling from the castle and disappearing before she's hitting the ground. Charlotte's ghost has been seen dragging her deformed legs behind her.
What, like crawling?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There needs to be more of a backstory. I need to read into those two. Something seems a bit suspicious there. That's... It's like, it starts so nice. We've seen playing in halls in Leap Castle. One's been falling off the top of the castle and disappearing before she hits the ground. The other one's been dragging her legs along. God damn, that
It's
turned...
like Herbert the Pervert's dog, innit?
Yeah.
That's what I imagine.
At least oh man, that's...
But obviously much more scary than just a cartoon dog.
I wonder if that place... I'd love to do a test one day. Is to take a medium there and just sit in there with them and just see what they pick up on. Don't tell them where you're going. What was it?
Like blindfold them and that, yeah.
Yeah, they should take them on a plane. Don't tell well, they know because they'd be Aer Lingus and shit, so they know exactly where we are. But then just like drive them to a destination and be like, I wonder if they could pick up on stuff. Imagine if you're sat there and he's like, oh, there's a girl dragging her legs along now. I'll be out.
Yeah, I'll be like, it's true.
I'll be back in England. I wouldn't even be catching a plane. I'll just jump.
Jump and be gone. Ugh, creepy. Okay, so next I'm going to be talking about Loftus Hall. Loftus Hall is reputed to be Ireland's most haunted house. The original hall was built in 1350 by the Redmond family during the time of the Black Death. It was known as Redmond Hall until the 1650s, when it was given to the English planters, the Loftus family, and from then on it was known as Loftus Hall. There is an eerie story that has stuck with Loftus Hall for many years. So you see a little bit of a theme here, so this is when it's like, is it a story, is it real?
Oh, so it's like a myth with the hall, pretty much.
Yeah, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, according to legend, one stormy night a stranger approached Loftus Hall on horseback and was invited in by the Tottenham family, who were living there at the time. The young lady, Anne Tottenham, became enchanted by this stranger. One night, while playing cards... You see where this is going?
No. Oh, back to the...
Lady Anne dropped a card, and while bending down to retrieve it, she caught a glimpse of the stranger under the table. He had cloven hoofs instead of feet.
Oh my god.
With that, the stranger shot through the roof in a ball of flames. The story goes on to say that Lady Anne never recovered from her ordeal and was locked in the tapestry room where she died years later. Servants and family members reported seeing her ghost wander the house at night. The building in which the legend is associated was levelled to the ground in 1870 and the present-day mansion was erected.
So the present-day mansion must also be...
Hella haunted, it was built on top of that ruin where...
So the devil just exists in Ireland then?
Exactly, and then do you like how both my stories had the same
Yeah.
experience?
So I'm wondering now if there's like... Both are false, or both are real and the devil's just appearing, so... Don't play card games in Ireland.
I like to think that they're both real, because imagine how often, like, cards was very popular, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, through the years and stuff, before technology. So, like, you would play cards, and how easy is it to drop a card?
I wonder how many other people, if that is the case, have seen that and just been like, no. Because the Irish are, like, highly religious.
Oh, yeah.
So I bet they're just, like, trying to fight it off with, like, prayers and stuff.
Yeah, I
Instead
think...
of being like, oh, guess what I saw?
Yeah, it did go and get... What's the word? What do priests do?
Cleanse?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it did get cleansed. And also, Loftus Hall is actually up for sale at the minute.
Yeah, that'd be... We already just discussed this. If we win the lottery, that's ours.
That's the first thing we're going to buy.
And we'll open it to everyone for free.
Yeah, currently it is actually... Well, you can go and have a tour. Like a ghost hunt sort of tour thing. Even though it's being converted into a hotel.
In a hotel?
Yeah.
So if someone's bought it for a hotel, it's not sold then?
No, it's the planning permission is that is converted into a hotel. So someone bought it a couple of years ago. I think it was 2011.
Yeah.
And
A couple of years ago. 14 years ago, someone bought it.
Jesus. Or was it 2018? I swear it's I don't know. Anyway, they've bought it and they started renovating it, basically. They spent, like, a lot of money, like, doing it up and stuff. And then they've just decided they've had enough of it and they're selling it now.
Wow, you should turn it into, like, a haunted attraction hotel.
I would love to do that.
That'd be...
Like, really dark, really dingy, really spooky.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be like Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah. Write that down.
Well, if I get the money...
Mate.
If there's any lenders on here watching, I would take your money and I'll turn it into a hotel and I'll name it after you.
Yeah.
Right, on to mine now. So, of course, everyone knows about the Banshee because it's the scariest thing ever.
Yeah.
And if I... Well, I have gone to Ireland, but if I heard a scream, I'll be really cautious. I would not want to hear... I'll not pick up my phone because, you know, it'd be bad news.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder how many pranksters there are in Ireland that have done that through the years. Say, like, a certain place, a certain town has had, like, stories, and it's just kids, like, screaming through, like, a traffic cone or something.
Fucking hell.
Oh
And
my
also,
God.
foxes' screams sound, like, scary, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I knew what one of those were before I went in the woods and heard one. Because if I heard that in the woods, same as a sheep, it was only like 2010, 2011 that like the viral sheep scream come out.
Yeah.
So imagine how many times people have been wandering through the countryside at night and you hear us.
Yeah, but the sheep one sounds kind of like comedic, doesn't it?
Yeah, but on your own at night,
Yeah,
it's
no.
not comedic anymore.
No, that's true. True that.
If you're in a petting zoo, then yeah, it's funny as hell. But
Yeah.
in the dark at 3 a.m, not so funny.
Nothing's funny in the dark at
And
3 a.m.
Also see like a white shape just wander around and be like, what was that?
Oh
And
my
you hear a
God.
scream in the woods.
Especially when you've got the other ghost things that are like the size of a sheep.
Yeah, there you go. It and the elemental.
Mm-hmm.
Or hearing a peacock. I mean, if you've heard one of those next to you, yeah. Remember,
I quite like that noises though.
it's nice, but again, at night it's not.
As like I said, anything at night is not.
But I remember, I'll get into a story, but like, I was walking to school with my mate, and where we lived, there were peacocks around, and someone had like just fed them and just raised them, and they just kept coming back. I don't know if that's what they do, but
Yeah,
they
there's
did here.
there's technically, I don't know if they're wild or they just live, they like free roam, but
Yeah,
they always go back to where they eat.
just chase food.
Yeah.
But we heard them, but never saw them for ages. I was walking up to school, we're up a steep hill, so you're trying to like go fast, and there's like a little lane, and my mate looked sideways, and Karen was like, "Wait a minute." Looked back, and it was just a peacock stood in the middle, but I thought for a second it was like an ostrich.
Oh my God.
It was like,
Imagine.
whoa. Anyway, back to the spooky stuff. So I've got a little banshee story for you here.
A little.
Yeah. In a small, isolated village in rural Ireland, the O'Connell family lived a simple life. They were farmers, their days filled with the rhythms of the land. The eldest daughter, Alice, was known for her strong will and her love for the old stories. One evening, a fierce storm swept through the village, and as the wind howled, a chilling sound pierced the night. It was a high-pitched, kneeling wail, unlike anything anyone had ever heard. Alice, intrigued and unnerved, convinced her brother to venture out. How nice.
How lovely. You go.
Just kicked him out the door. They traced the sound to an old abandoned cottage on the edge of their property. Inside, they found nothing but the wind whistling through the broken windows. The next day, their grandfather, a man of the old ways, fell ill. As his condition worsened, the wail returned each night, growing more intense, more personal. Alice, remembering the stories of the Banshee, became convinced that her family was cursed. She had researched local folklore, learning that the Banshee's cries were often linked to impending death. Despite the doctor's best efforts, their grandfather passed away a few days later. The wailing stopped and the village mourned. Months later, the mother fell ill, the same wail returned, and Alice knew what it meant. She watched helplessly as her mother's health deteriorated. The Banshee's mournful cry echoing in her ears every night. After the mother's passing, the village whispered that the O'Connells were marked, destined to suffer the Banshee's sorrowful warning with each loss.
So what made him cursed?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a curse, but unless the family's just very unlucky and the banshee's like has to step in and be like, this is happening. It's nice that it gives you warning, but
It's still haunting though, isn't it?
yeah, it's like getting bad news from the doctor. You hear that, you're like,
Yeah.
you look around, who's first? Place bets.
Who's next?
God, yeah. Yeah, I really want to go to Ireland,
Do all the spooky stuff, because we've only been on like social calls, haven't we?
but when we went to Belfast, we went to the prison now, or the Gaol, or the jail.
The Gaol. Yeah.
Oh, that was just Belfast?
Belfast.
Belfast prison, wasn't it?
But it
Jail.
was a Gaol.
Yeah,
Jail.
GAOL, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing, that tour. There was one of the cells, it was like just a normal prison cell, and I believe it was one of the cells you stayed in before you were executed. And you could stay in there months. You'd never know. You'd basically who would it be? The vicar? Not the vicar. A holy man would walk in and say your last rites, and also the executioner. But he basically was in there. There's a bookcase in there. He moved the bookcase through, and into the next room was the gallows.
Oh,
Do you
I
remember
remember
that?
that. Yeah.
So you're basically sleeping next to where you're gonna die the whole time, and then just drop through the floor, and underneath was where the morgue was. I thought that was so cool. When everyone, like, I think we're in a group of like 20 odd.
Yeah.
But as soon as you went, and then this, and then like moved the bookshelf, I was like, flipping heck.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I was like, Jesus. Jesus. Well, I'm not swearing. I'm not swearing. Oh, I swatched it too far away.
But then also we went to Cork City Jail, didn't we? And that was a really cool old building.
Yeah. Just recently.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing, wasn't it?
I can't remember much from it though, because I was exhausted from walking to it. Because it's, for some reason, Ireland is not a hot place. But this one day we decided to walk up the hill to the jail from the city. And oh my god, the sun was beaming on us, and it was like...
Yeah. Well, we stayed in a really nice old place up the top of the hill, walked down into Cork, and then along, and then back up another massive hill. And we're like, got there, like, oh my god.
It was nice when we were there though, because it was a really cool old building.
Yeah.
But yeah, god.
I wish you drove.
Yeah.
Still worth it though, but
Still worth it.
the one day it was boiling.
Just happened to be that one day in Ireland that they had the sun.
We were lucky with weather, actually. But yeah, talking about the wind and stuff, then it just reminded me on my TikTok I put up a post. We have this little haunted highway sign. I'm sure that's cursed. Every time I put it up on the fence, the wind goes mad.
Yeah.
Every single time. And then Simon's like we got like lights on our fence and wrapped it around there.
It should stay on.
It should stay on. We got a green man statue hanging off it as well. But every time we go in the morning, it's like sideways. Something's like, don't put that up.
Every time we put it up, it's always like a windy few days, and it just keeps coming off. So then like we kind of like, oh, we'll just leave it. And then it's really calm for a few days, and we're like, oh, we can put it back up. And then it's literally as soon as we put it back up, it's windy again.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah, definitely cursed.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to leave it there, and then obviously next week we'll jump to our next place, which we haven't decided what it might be yet.
Nope. We decide on the spot, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
Thumbs up and all that jazz. Follow us on TikTok.
Our dogs got off the couch like, yep, here we go, we're done.
That's the time. It's a long boy stretch.
Long more stretch. Yeah, so see you next week.
Cool. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.